Hey guys, Dr. Kyle Loveless here with Queen City Health Center. We have two clinics, one in South Park, one in Matthews. And I want to take a moment to share with you guys some really cool concepts about stress. Obviously, it's a big deal. We have a lot of stress in our world today. Most of the time we think of stress, we think of an emotional stressor that we're dealing with, whether it's like a family issue or a work issue or a money issue, whatever it is, it's this emotional thing that we're dealing with. And those are definitely big deals. But at the same time, we have other stresses in our world today that we're not thinking about. Things like physical stresses like car accidents, injuries, sitting at a desk. It's the number one physical stress in the world we have today. And I would say the number one stress in the world we have today, because we sit 90% of the day. There's way too much sitting. And then also chemical stresses. And the biggest chemical stress that we have right now are actually medications. Too many chemicals coming into our body from our food system, from the environment we breathe, from the cleaning products, the smelling products, whatever you want to call them, beauty products, but then also the medications that we take are wreaking havoc in our body. It's just too much stress day in and day out, and it's leading to the top 50 diseases that we deal with right now. Everything from heart disease and diabetes and cancer to thyroid issues, digestive problems, back pain and neck pain, headaches, fatigue, chronic fatigue issues, brain fog, Alzheimer's. These are all linked back to stress in the body, and they are either physical, chemical, or emotional stress. Most of the time it's all those put together, and the body is not resilient enough to handle that stressor. In return, the patient, or the person, will end up with a health issue. And that issue is really just a symptom, or it's really a physiological response. Let's call it that. So I'm going to do a mind warp or mindset change here for you guys here today. Instead of thinking of the problem you're dealing with as a health problem or a diagnosis or a disease, think of it as a physiological response, because that's actually what it is. And let me explain that, and I'm going to dive into this here today, because I'm going to give you three easy things you can do or not easy, but three things you can do to help your body become more resilient to stress in general, right? And so, but the thing is that these physiological responses is really by your body just adapting. When our body's stuck in a stress response, the thyroid's going to be low. That's natural, normal. That's physiological response. Your cortisol levels are going to be high. Your digestive system's going to be low. Your immune system's going to be low. Your sex drive's going to be low. Your reproductive system's going to be low. Your heart rate's going to go up. Your blood pressure's going to go up. Your cholesterol's going to go up. All these things happen in a normal stress response. So it's actually a physiological adaptation. And when we start seeing these long-term diseases, or what we call diseases, it's really just the body stuck in the stress response. And the more resilient you are to stress and the less stressors you have on your system, the longer you're going to live and the happier you're going to be. So I want to dive into this today. So when we talk about stress, the first thing I'm going to teach you guys, I'm not going to talk about the stressors and how to get rid of them, because that takes habit change, and that's going to take some time. But I'm going to talk about the things you can do today to start changing that. There's three things that they've shown make your body more resilient to stress. Okay, I'm sure there's more out there, but these are the three things they've gone through extensive studies. Number one thing that helps you with stress, what do you guys think it is? What do you think it is? Well, it's your thoughts. So number one is how you think, right? Your thoughts are number one. Your mindset behind it is number one. And here's the deal, is that we make so many stressors in our life just by how we perceive our environment and what's around us. I'm sorry, I'm probably shaking the phone here because I keep hitting my desk. But yeah, the way we see things. You can take two people in the same situation, one's miserable, one's happy. It's all perception. And so our mindset, so things like prayer, meditation are going to make you more resilient to stress. Getting right in your head and in your heart with the Lord is going to make you more resilient to stress. Being able to see life as something that you're as a journey that you're going on, instead of being so stuck on results and expectations not being met. That's a way to become more resilient to stress. So the way we see life, if we see stress as something that's going to cause heart disease and cancer and all these health problems, then it will. But the studies have shown that if we see stress as something that is good for us and that makes us stronger, and that our body is strongly and powerfully made, and it's going to heal and it's going to be stronger from whatever that stressor is, then it actually does make you stronger. So change perception. That's number one. So thoughts is number one. We got to change our thinking. No more stinking thinking, right? And then number two is going to be, these are called, we'll go straight to that one. Number two is proprioception. Okay, and that's ultimately movement yeah, proprioception. So there's also movement in your body's understanding of its awareness and the joints within your spine and nervous system, so within your spine. So the movement, let's just make that simple. Sorry, that was hard. So let's say proprioception, right? I probably even spelled it wrong. But the movement in your spine is actually something that helps you become more resilient to stress. Here's why. 90% of the stimulation and nutrition to your brain comes from your spine moving. There's been studies that show that literally prolonged sitting, this is the Internal Journal of Medicine showed this in 2012, that prolonged sitting, regardless of your activity level, meaning if you exercise every day but you sit the rest of your day, that increases all-cause mortality rates. So here what I'm saying here is that if you don't move, you die. Stress, your body is so unresilient to stress without movement. So my best advice to every single person out there, number one, is move all day long. Get yourself a wobble cushion if you work at a desk that you can move all day long. Maybe use a standing and seating desk so you're going back and forth and moving all day long. Stretch throughout your day, but don't just sit around. That's what's going to build disease in the body. And the second thing is, because we've sat so long, because we've had these physical traumas, we have damage in our spine, and there's areas physically that aren't moving in the spine. Even if you try to move them, they're not moving. Those are called subluxations, and that's what actually you work with in chiropractic. When we move the spine, we're blocking the stress response, and the number one research about chiropractic is that it makes your body more resilient to stress, and it does that by affecting the brain and the nervous system. So it blocks the stress response. So the second thing, number one would be move. Number two would be get chiropractic care. You should be under wellness chiropractic care. And I say that very strongly because the studies out there have shown that people under long-term chiropractic care have a higher immune system, so less sick days. They have, what's it, like 80 or 90% is way up there. High percentage, less of pharmaceutical costs, and they're healthier in general. There's a lot of other statistics they had there, but they were all really positive for long-term chiropractic care, and it's because of the spinal stimulation and movement to the spine, okay? So number two is proprioception. And then number three, the last one I'm gonna give you to the guys today is adaptogens, okay? And there's a lot of sorry. I'm spelling stuff wrong here, but whatever. You got this. Adaptogen. So these are adaptogenic herbs, okay? I'm gonna list some of these out. So if you got a pen and paper, write these down. Some of the best studied ones are rhodiola, cordyceps, ashwagandha. Those are some of the top three. I use a supplement called Stress RX, and you can, I don't know if you can get that online or not, but you can get it in our office, and there's other people that carry it as well. But Stress RX, it has those three herbs in there, and they help amazing. I take 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. It helps balance my body back to homeostasis and make it more resilient to stress. CBD oil is a very powerful adaptogen. Actually, believe it or not, at a lower level, you got things like turmeric is an adaptogen. Other different adaptogenic mushrooms are out there. So there's a lot of different adaptogens. You can probably Google adaptogens and just look at those, but they make your body more resilient to stress. So we got number one, the way you think. Number two, the movement of your spine. And number three is adaptogens. So those three things right there on a daily basis over time are going to help your body become more resilient to stress. So if you're looking for help with stress, but you just don't think you can get it out of your environment, obviously we got to eat better. We're going to get less chemicals in our body. We want to move more. But at the same time, there's certain things you just got to do to help your body in life that are going to be stressful, right? And we're not going to be able to get rid of all that. So you got to make your body more resilient to it so you can perform at a high level, live up to your God-given potential, and do the stuff you want in life. That's what it's about. It's not about being depressed and tired all the time. It's not about fatigue and brain fog. It's not about fighting diseases and just like we're just in this emergency state. People are stuck in the medical system because they're in an emergency state. That doesn't have to be you. Your body was wonderfully and powerfully made. It doesn't need help healing. It just needs no interference. And one of the best things you can do, one of those three things right there, those three things to make your body more resilient to stress. And at the end of the day, you're going to be happier, healthier, and live longer, and teach this stuff to your kids too. All right, guys, like this, love this, share with people that you know. It can really make a big difference in their life. Again, for those of you I don't know, I'm Dr. Kyle Loveless with Queen City Health Center in Charlotte. We have a clinic in South Park and in Matthews. Check us out online. You can go to queencityhealthcenter.com, or you can check us out on Facebook at Queen City Health Center on Facebook. And hey, I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope that was helpful. Rewatch this stuff, send it to your friends. 3 easy things you can do for stress. Talk to you guys later.